Okay. I think I get this to the point where we don't have to, I don't need any prompting to see that I've turned it on. I think we did okay. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Touch my face again. I'm a goner. I got the colors up here one more time. But I was thinking, just thinking that what else is really needed for this painting? All right, we'll take a look at that. That looks pretty good. We're going to work all in the foreground now. We have to bring a little bit of this dark green over here, of course. And we're going to have to put some highlights, and then we'll put some highlights on top of that. So we also, instead of just the highlights here, like this, we have to add the dark green and then the highlights on top of that. Hey, Lorraine's working from home today. She's working remotely. And so that sounds important in itself. And but right now she's on a conference call. So, but she's in another part of the wing. So we're not worried about that. So let's get right into the colors that we're going to need today. And what I was thinking, I was also thinking that we'll probably be finishing this painting up today also. I'm thinking there's really no reason to go another hour on it tomorrow. Even if it takes, it shouldn't even, I wouldn't expect it to take the hour to finish this. Because all we have to do is just come right up in here, throw in some of the lighter, look right in here, this is beautiful. And I'm gonna be moving the camera around because I want to show you a couple paintings and how I got there and do a little explanation on that too. And you know something? I was asked if we could maybe do the Boston skyline, but remember as we did that one, I'll show you that when I get up. But I had made a stencil of the Boston skyline because we're gonna buy one. So I went on there and I just looked for a silhouette of it, and I just kind of sketched it out: the Prudential Building, the Hancock Tower, the bridge itself, the Longfellow Bridge, and I think in front of that we also added a sailboat with the reflections in the water. I mean, we could do that. I could do that here, but if you don't have the stencil itself, it's not much fun. So, but I can show you how I can explain how we did that. I don't know if you could see. I tried to bring this up nice and close. So let's grab some of our yellow and some of our green right now, and we're going to start with our small. We're going to start with our small brush and go into. Let's see. Yeah, we want to take out some yellow and green for now only. I don't want to get into the colors because, of course, what do we have to do? That's right, we got to wait for it to dry. Can't put those beautiful spring colors of the flowers on top of this. Needs more to it, right? It needs so much more. So that's what we're going to do. Look how bright and lively that looks. Beautiful. All right. So let's see. I'm going to take some yellow, as I said, yellow and green. Not a lot, and use your small brush. I hope you cleaned them. I hope you washed them out last night after class was done. So, and a little bit of that same green. I have the shamrock green. It doesn't change just because St. Patty's Day is over. The color remains the same, just like the song. All right. Oh, you know what? I took this out purposely so I wouldn't forget to explain. Now, you see how our colors run like that? That's kind of like creamy and liquidy. These on the other side, on the other way, whatever. See, watch this. I actually had to use a pair of pliers to undo this. So, but this is a phthalo green. I don't want to use this only because it'll give us a different effect on our painting, and I don't want yours to look any different than mine. But I just want to put this out, and I see how creamy that looks, as we said. Well, look at this. Watch this. Right? It's like toothpaste. So there we go, like that. All right. So we're not going to use that only because I don't want to. It'll give us a different look. So we're just going to go with the colors that we have, and I just want to explain that to you. That's all. That you can buy acrylic paint in a tube form. They tend to be a little more expensive, and I tell you what, if you go to Michael's, you can get these for like I don't know, how much is it? Maybe 80 cents. I don't know, something like that. They're cheap, anyways. They're cheap. And we went over the brushes already. So now let's take our small brush. And again, what are we going to do? How are we going to work on this now? We already have that color green in there, so it kind of be repetitive to do that in there again, so it's really not necessary. So what we do want to do is take a little bit of the yellow and just kind of squish your brush, make sure it's pliable, because that was kind of stiff. Okay, so take a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, and don't even mix it on here actually, because what's going to happen, you have the yellow underneath, you have the green on top, so it's going to make like a casing. And then see, let's not go way back there, because I like this. I was looking at this last night, and see right in here where we left these black areas and these darker areas right in along here, doesn't it look like shadow coming in, or maybe casting from this way or that way? But because we left those black areas in there, it creates another plane and somewhere else to walk through. So I really don't want to kill that either by raising all. I don't want to raise all the grasses way up there and kill all that beautiful work that we did back there to make it look like it goes way back there. And look, eventually this goes right out into the grass and then into the trees like we're in on this side. So again, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, and we're just going to start off. You see what I'm doing? I'm just going to touch, just like this. And just a little bit. If your brush is small enough, see, because you don't want these tall ones like this. You don't want those back here, because we'll kill all of that. All that beautiful work will be killed if we put a bunch of these in there. And don't have these too yellow. I mean, you can make them as yellow as you like, but I like to tone them down. It's just, personal preference. But again, you don't want to kill these beautiful blacks in here. Okay, these are really nice. So keep those in there. So what you want to do is stay. Oh, what, I not have enough paint? There it is. See, and because just like we did our slashes nice and small, these are just representing the tops of the tops of all this stuff. Okay, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, patting it on there. But see, you don't want to. You want little bright spurts of color. Okay, don't let it wear out on your brush, because see, that's how little paint that I used, but it's enough to stay there. By the time I hit right there, it's already wearing off. So you don't want that. So make sure that you have enough paint on there, and just keep going back. And remember, don't kill those black areas, and just stay right in there. You could go a little bit into them, but when you accent them like that and leave the black behind it, boom, it pulls that right in forward, and it pushes that black back into a shadowy area. So I could stay up late nights now, because anything that I'm working on could be easily saved. I got a whole bunch of paintings I could pull out of the closet now. Got a bunch of stuff that I could work on and finish, because I know I got a whole bunch of stuff. See what I'm doing? I'm just kind of working it. I'm not rushing it. So please take your time with this. Absolutely take your time. So then I'm just going to come down inside here. I could hear the rain's meeting a little bit. I hope it's not disturbing us. I can't hear anything per se, but I could hear it. Must be important. It's a conference call. I don't think I had many conference calls, unless I've called Lorraine for lunch or something, see what she's doing, if she want to meet before my next class, when I had a job. But we'll all be back. We're going to bounce right back. There's a little setback. We're going to be okay. You see what I'm doing? I'm just going to work this in now. It looks like I put a little bit too much green in there, so I immediately lost it. See that? It's just basically that same color. So all I want to do is maybe we'll just take a little bit of the yellow by itself now. And just remember, you want to add a little bit right in here. You see what this does? It just makes it more fluffy, I guess, or more, I don't know, airy on top, I guess. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. But all I want to do is, see, every time you do another plane on top of here, you're creating another layer, another layer, another layer. So every time you put paint on paint on paint, remember, all we're doing, painting is nothing but cleaning your brush in an area and doing what it wants. Okay, making it do what you want it to do is what I meant to say. All right, so see, and now when I come in here and I got these areas in here, I know that that's the door and I don't want to upset that. So I want to come up here, but I want to show that the grass is in front of the door because it's kind of getting lost right in there. Now see, right in here, it's going to look just that good right here. But see, you could see the green in front of the white. Now green's a darker color, but in front of the white, not so much. But you put this yellow in front of black. Oh, and I said I don't want to go too high with those because this is a door and these are just grasses. See, but that yellow on the white, not really ever any good. But you need it on there because it's in there. See, and then on these shadows, on these blacker shadows, see, we could leave some of these, and well, you want to get rid of that edge. Now you could use a little bit of the green in there because it's too yellow, not showing the grasses, and overlap those. Let things happen. Okay, and then here is where we're going to come up. And again, you don't want to kill this shadowy area in there either. Okay, and maybe we just leave that alone for now. But what we want to do is just come right up and look at this. See, like I said, you don't want it all just up like that because you want to have some crisscrosses, some overlaying, some tired grass, some longer pieces that are falling over. So I also got a request, maybe we do an ocean. I don't know if we should really jump right into a different scene right away. I'm thinking we could do away with these taller grasses, but we could have something on the idea of a more, maybe like a waterfall, all right? Because we'll have the sky in there, we'll have the forest in there, of course, and then we could have the waterfall coming over, crashing against some rocks, things like that. So think about that. And you know the beauty of it? Any of these colors, now hopefully you didn't use them all up, okay? Don't use a lot of paint, but if you have all these colors already that we're using on this painting by itself, after you figure you got light blue, dark blue, maybe if you need a dark blue, you got orange, red, yellow, get a dark green, and not even light green because you can always add yellow or white, but you know, get a light green maybe. You know, some of the other light greens I have is a, well, I guess it would be like what's on the plate here. And that is called, what's that called? There it is. That is called Phthalo Yellow Green. So it's a very, very bright green, kind of like a minty, almost a Dayglow green, really. So that's that. So what you want to do is, yeah. So if we have those colors there, we could do a beautiful ocean. Okay. What was I going to say? The other color would be kind of like a turquoisey color. Okay, kind of like turquoise. Because if you have something like this, if you have something like this, just imagine that's like a beautiful. What color is that? This one's called Hawaii. You know. And these paints are great too because, you know, like I said, they last a long time. But hopefully you didn't use a lot of them. And these are cheap enough. You can get the bigger ones. I think these are like $5. All right, but these last me a long time. And you have a lot of students. But because I put the paint out, I don't go through it as much. Because sometimes you see people grab it and they're like, oh wait, hold on. But yeah, if you could pick up something like this color green, would be awesome. Or blue, I don't know if you want to call it turquoise green or turquoise blue, but it's on the blue green spectacle. All right, so I'm just going to go back in here. Hope you guys are just slashing and slashing. Right, and see, I'm just going to come up here. And look how bright. You figure that white would be the brightest color that would pop all these beautiful backyard colors, but no. It's the yellows and the greens and even the browns could be beautiful, you know, on the ground. And we'll have a little shoreline. Yeah, we'll do a waterfall. And let me know, do you want a sky? No sky. We could do that, okay? We could do that. We could have a sky, or it could be deep in the woods where there's no sky. Now remember, don't kill all these darker areas in there, please. Because once we finish, see like right here, yeah, they're there. And I want to cover them, but I don't want to kill it, right? So, even that's a little too much, so, alright. I'm going to put this one way in front. Sometimes things happen, and you got to help it. Well, you know what I can do to fix that if I don't like it? Go right into the green and break it up. Look at that. Never a mistake. Don't worry about it. And if I had blackout, I'd probably break it up there too. But I'm not worried about it now because look at, right? All those flowers are going up there. So don't worry about it. And I'm looking at this like it's way, way too high. What kind of like, I don't know if we're sitting down on the ground. I wouldn't be sitting down on the ground in there looking up at these windows like that. Not with all those ticks in there. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to come in here, and I think this is bright enough. I don't want it too bright because I don't want the yellow to be the brightest part of this painting, okay? Remember, got all those beautiful colors to go in there, the oranges, the reds, the purples, the blues, okay? So, and I caught myself going down with the slashes. I heard you. Thank you. Thank you. So, see what I'm going to do? I'm just going to add a couple here. And I don't want this to be the whole thing right there. Got to save some room for the flowers. And that's good for me. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to put this brush, now put this small brush in the, you know what? Why not? But be very careful. We could do a little bit of a highlight because the sun's coming out. It's nice and bright. Now don't do this down the whole tree, but what you want to do is where the sun might be hitting, coming in this way, of course it would be sitting and hitting. The sun would hit on this part of the branch, right? Just that little bit of a glow. Maybe a little bit down here, just like that. But we're going to put the highlight on there so it may get hidden too. So don't worry about that. So then what we're going to do here is come right around, look at that. And just have like a little sparkle like that, and that's all you want. Just like that, because your eye goes up there, and you see it's part of the tree, and then it loses interest. So, you know, it's okay. You don't want to put it over here because the sun's coming in this side, and it's heavy shadow, and we already have our shadowed branches there. So that's good. So let's put this in the water. And take your big brush out and get ready to, actually we'll add some of the dark green on here. Then we'll come over here and add the highlights on this side. And then we'll go back and put the highlights on there because it may be dry. Okay? Alright, so put these in the water. Hope everybody's having a good day. But I do expect to finish up this painting today. So I hope you've been following along, and if you have, well, I know you have, because the pictures are awesome that I'm seeing. They really have a lot of depth. I'm seeing right in here. This whole area and a lot of paintings that I'm seeing has really come out fantastic because you got what I was saying with the yellow and the green together. You see how that just gives it like a little bit of something to look at, like the sun might be hitting right on there, but you can see that there's, you know, if you look at the grass, it's not just green grass, it's yellow, it's all these things, and if you look at it, you'll see dark areas, lighter areas, but you'll see that when the sun comes out. Snowed this morning, huh? That much. Couldn't believe it. All right, so I'm going right into the green right now. Okay, I'm going to go right into the green, and let's come up here, and again, it's bouncing on me, so I just want to control that for a moment. Excuse me. So all I'm doing, I'm just going down that same angle that we did with the black. So kind of like a 8 o'clock, no, like a 4 o'clock, 10 o'clock, coming in this way on the clock. So turn your brush on that angle, and just think about, you know, like I said, extend your fingers that way, and then have it come in like that, so it has a little bit of a rock to it. Okay, just like today with the snow on the branches. See, and then you just don't kill that black, and then watch what happens with this house in front of it now. Look at that! I love this. This is my favorite part of the painting, when it comes alive like this. Now, see, I'm almost putting too much right in here. I almost put too much, so at least my senses said get out of there. Now see, that's all I got on there because that's how much I loaded the brush. I don't want to kill it with big globs. I just want, like I said, that little bit of a stipple. Okay, and by stipple is when you can just see the front of the brushes, the front of the bristles, like that, okay? And if you go in there and just like this and put on there, that does not look like that. And if you got 1, 2, 3, that's not how you make a tree. Or leaves? No, of course not. Okay, so what we'll do is, that's too much paint on there. So I'm going to wipe some off, because we never take that much paint, right? Just take a little bit, but we're going straight in because that's what we're using. So I'm just going to pop it right there. And I'm not even going to plop it. We're going to pop it. And because it's only that color going on there, we're just going to lightly put it on there. Now my hand, I gotta hold on again. My hand is not crushing that on there. It's just placing it on there and coming off. Okay, as soon as you know that, you'll get the feel for that anyways. As soon as you know that you're okay. And look at that. Look at the look that gives. Is that incredible? Go right in front of the window, because then it shows that the house is back there too. You know, down behind that tree there in the corner. And just let this come right down. And don't worry about those grasses that you put out. Oh, no, 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 look what I'm doing. Oh, no, 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 what am I doing? Ah, that's all right. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I'm just going to leave it like that. And the reason I'll do that is because I just want to take a little bit of yellow, same thing, just that little bit on the front of it. And just, this is how we fix this bottom. And just come right up. But you can do it with the big brush. Don't worry about it. And just make sure you don't go way up here in the windows, okay? Stay away from there. Keep it down low underneath the windows, and you'll be all set. Okay? There you go. Okay, and that's good enough for me. Now we're going to start working on, the highlights. Okay, no need to, we don't have to clean the brush because it's already got that green on there on both sides. And all we're doing is adding what? The yellow, that's right. So, we already have the green, so there's no reason to go back in green. So let's just go right into the yellow. Little on the front, just like that. Right? Let's always start from the top and work down. Because when you start from the top, that's where you find out where your brightest part is. Right? And that's what's hitting, that's what the sun's hitting right there. Then you have some of these that are hidden in the background. Let those stay hidden in the black. And just throw a little bit in front. And see, now we get to hide some of those branches. See? Easy enough. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And just a little bit right back there. Don't go in front of it because you don't want to kill that tree. So these branches show that it's behind that tree. See? And look how much it pops that right out front. And let's hide this a little bit. I see something I like up there, but I want to accent it a little more. Just to tuck this in. See right in here where it's really dull? Watch what happens with that tree trunk. Boom. Oh, I want to come in straight with my brush. I almost messed that up. And look at that. I don't kill the tree trunk, but I accent it by showing just that little bit of another branch coming in from another tree, maybe. You know, just a little bit there, maybe. Could come down. Whatever you think, you know. But just be careful, don't overwork it, because I tend to do that myself. And by overworking it, I mean, that means don't put so much yellow on there. Now you don't like it. So that means overwork. Be careful with that. So now I'm just going to come up on this side, and I know that the sun's hitting over here. So, and remember, I'm always turning my brush the same angle that I put the previous colors on. I put the black on like that at the, what would that be, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And I did the same thing with the green, 8 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And now I'll do the same, but I want to be careful. Not that it's really bad, but I just want to be careful not to touch that tree trunk. And look how nice and bright I make this right here. And it shows that that's right. I want to go down all the way, right? And that's good enough. Maybe pull it in a little bit there just to show something and let that fade right back into the painting. So now we have a nice composition where your eye goes all the way around that painting. Isn't that nice? Let's see. Gonna come up here and do the highlights over here. Now I said yellow, you know, it could be yellow's it's getting too yellow for me. So maybe I'll tone it down with just a little bit of green now. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of that. Oh, yours wouldn't be bouncing like this, but see, all I'm going to do is I don't want to kill those colors underneath. And apparently I don't want to make this one too bright either. And it's on the shadow side. So I just want to show that there's a little bit of something in there. Right, so that looks good enough for me. I'm going to leave it like that. The next thing we're going to do, look at me, I'm touching my face again. I'm a goner. We're going to start working on the flowers now because this is all done. Unless you want to throw in, you could throw like another tree trunk in here. You can always hide a little piece. That's totally up to you. But what you want to do now, clean your big brush because our big brush is gonna do the flowers for us. Okay, let's see. Oh, we got 5 minutes of one. That's pretty good. And if it takes the hour, we'll take the hour. I don't want to rush everybody, but I just thought also tomorrow would be. I thought just one more day would be too long. So let's get excited and take out some colors now. All the brighter colors. I want you to take out yellow, orange, and let's see what I got. I got some yellow. Actually, something? Keep the yellow away for right now. Yeah, because there's so much yellow in it. If you point it out, hopefully just a little bit. I'm sorry. Because I'm just looking at it like there's a lot of yellow in there right now. But something? No, you got it. We'll use it. And if you didn't take it out, take it out. Because we could use yellow and red to change it for a different kind of orange, even though we have an orange. So let's see. I got yellow and red. I got orange. And look at these beautiful colors, huh? Ooh, look at that. That's going to look awesome on there. That's going to look fantastic. All right, let me see what else. I think that's it for now. Okay, because these are the only colors we pulled out. These are the only colors we're going to use. So, and like I said, if you want to go back in afterwards, you know how you put your tree trunk in. We used a little bit of brown and a little bit of yellow because that brown, remember, was so dark, right? So you want to just lighten it up with just that little bit of yellow. I wouldn't use white because it's a tannish color. Yellow kind of just dulls it down a little better, I think, anyway. All right, so here we go. Now, if you got your big brush, I want you to make sure it's clean and just kind of like crush it on your, not crush it, but I mean, don't destroy it, but just open up the bristles like that. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, but just open it up so that it doesn't look like a beautiful paintbrush, so it doesn't look like this. Okay, you want it to look crappy. All right, crappy is going to make beautiful flowers. All right, now let's take a look at our other picture and how did we do those flowers? I think you know this style by now. What did we do? We took the colors and put them on there, and we only use one at a time though, right? We don't skip around and do them all. We want to use one, and we want to balance it, right? So you don't want like a big clump of red and a big clump of orange and a big clump of yellow, a big clump of, whatever. You just don't want it. So what you want to do is, again, we're going to go straight in, right? Now this time we are going to blop it because that doesn't look like a bunch of flowers right there. No, not at all. But now that we have this, we're going to get even a better look than what's here, because you can see if you look at it, I used kind of like a much smaller brush, I think. But this is going to give us a better area, and you're going to be happier with the way the results come out. Okay, so what we're going to do, we start with the orange. And I like to go from my dark colors to my, my brighter colors to my darker colors. So, and I like to keep the brighter colors in the front and the darker colors toward the back so that they seem as though they're like in a shadowy area, okay? So the brighter colors out front, because if we were to put the oranges or the yellows back here in that black area, it would be too light. much too light. So, like I said, go into the orange, blop it, and make sure you blop it nice and heavy, and you're looking for that effect right there. Okay. So what we're gonna do is now gonna go straight in, and we're gonna stay down low on your painting. Down low on your painting is the most forward part of the painting. Okay, because this is all called foreshortening. Okay, in the distance. But what we're doing right now is we're gonna work right in the foreground. And look at what I'm doing. Very, very lightly, okay? Very, very lightly. I hope you can see this. You should be able to see this. And see, and then just kind of, I don't know, there's no right way or wrong way. But now after you have that orange in there, we can always go back and make some of these darker too. So don't worry about how light this is. This is all just background stuff until we put a couple of individual flowers on top to really make it pop. Okay, so don't be discouraged. It's like, oh, my flowers look crappy. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Now I went into some yellow, right? I'm going to go right into the yellow. I'm going to blop it. And look, because we have the orange on there already, and we added yellow, look at that. This is going to be awesome. So we come where there's no paint. We just kind of like add a little bit to it. Now it has that orange on it. So it's going to, the orange is going to come out, or it's at least going to, there it is. It's at least going to turn that yellow dirty. Okay, it's not going to be a true yellow, it'll be a dirty yellow. Okay, and this is what we're looking for now. See, and you want to be able to see through it. And then, let's say, now we're going to come up here. Now see where this is all yellow. I got a lot of yellow up in this area, so I want to break that up. Okay, so let's see. I think what I want to do is I'm going to take some orange, and remember, this could be in the shadow area too. It's in the sun right now. It's in the bright, bright sun because it's in front of this. But if we add just a little bit of red to that orange and brighten it up a little bit and dull it down, we could just come right over here. Now remember, these could be just grasses and flower stems or whatever is there. But what we see, every time I work over there, I have to hold on to this because it's just too bouncy. So I got to hold on to this and look at, oh my gosh, look at this. Wow. Ooh, the red and the orange. Look at that. I love it. Look at that. So you could actually do it a little bit heavier right there, and that looks nice. Okay, so that's the background stuff. Now it just looks too low. I want to pick it up a little bit. And remember, step back every once in a while. Step back from your work. Okay? And see what I'm doing? I'm not keeping them separate. I'm not, you won't be able to count these. But what you want to do is you want to have areas that look like they're a few flowers clumped together. So now we'll go back to the orange and the yellow and watch what happens here. Okay, we're going to leave this area here like this. We're going to come up here with the orange and yellow. Now this is all done. Don't go back up there. That's beautiful. Okay, so now maybe a little bit in front of the door. You look for the darker areas now, and then you put a little bit here. And see that? So a little bit heavier paint comes in here now. Okay, and just like we did the trees actually. And see that? Just like we did the trees. We're just poking it on there. And see what you want to do is you want to keep it kind of like on flat areas like this, so it looks like you're looking at, see how it looks like this comes right up and there's the top of the flower like that, what they call that, I don't know, it's like all white by the side of the road. There's a whole bunch of them, but it's like a big white flat thing, kind of looks like that. But what you want to do is you want to just lay things out on a flat surface like this. Okay, so even in here, let's go back in here now. Let's take some more reds. We're going to come right back in here. Now you don't want to just make a big smile, but see, remember, don't kill those blacker areas too. Those darker areas are nice. So maybe just a little bit right here. Remember, these are flowers and all kinds of things. This is not just the grasses. So don't be afraid to get back there and throw a couple back there. But see, I'm using the yellow and the orange where it darkens it down a little bit. It tones it all down. Okay? Let's see. And when you step back, this is going to look fantastic. Okay? Now, maybe a little bit of yellow. Maybe a little bit more bright yellow. And I'll put that right in this area. Okay. And don't be afraid, that's true. No. Too, you could do like this. Now see, I'm going to change the angle of my brush. And maybe this will give, and look, I'll come down like this. Now I want more yellow. I need more yellow in there. I want it to be nice and, oh yeah, nice. See now, because this is just so big, I'm going to come down all the way like this. And then, like that other guy says, give him a friend, you know? And then you could just come across. Now this is getting too bright in here, so I want to tone it down. And that's what I mean by balancing the color, okay? Do you want just red? I don't know. I kind of like the way the yellow and the orange mix. So maybe I want some yellow and some red. So let's see what that does. Oh yeah, see, and look at this. And you just leave that like that. See what I'm doing? I'm just laying this down flat across. Just think of it as going flat across the tops of these grass tops and stems. Okay, all we're doing is placing things on the top of them. Now, like taking a blanket and just putting it right over. Okay, so that's what we're doing basically. So now let's go across here. You could go into there, but I always like to start where there's no paint and then bring this in. Yeah, see, that looks better than what I did underneath. This it's just giving it like a heavier look. But I want it to be brighter. I need it to be nice and bright. So maybe, see, you don't even have to clean your brush. You could just, look how much paint, oh my gosh. Because you're stabbing at it like this, all you're doing is keep pushing and pushing and pushing paint back, further into it. So that's what's happening there, and now I'm just making mud. So when it gets like that, you know, every color is basically going to turn out like this because that's what's in the brush. So what do you want to do? Exactly, clean the brush. Now make sure when you clean the brush that you dry it off really good, because sometimes the water gets trapped up in here, or you know, if you're just doing like this and then when you, I don't know, sometimes it'll just right down and say, where'd that come from? I washed it. Yeah, but you didn't dry it good. So make sure you dry your brush. Again, I'm sorry, I'm right up in your face. But, wow, okay, well, I wonder how much time we will have to talk about next week's show, or actually tomorrow's show. But, you know, we'll do no rush on this one. Don't feel we hurry up. No, not that way. We got plenty of time. I think we got till August right now. Okay, so you know something? Nothing says we got that light blue. Have you got that light blue? Take some of that light blue. That'll look okay in there. And I'll show you. Watch this. This is gonna look great. Now you got your brush. I know I cleaned and dried mine, so I'm just gonna go straight in, just like we did. Blop it, because you don't want that on there. You want that on there. Okay. So now I'm gonna come right up in here. I'm gonna go into an area where there's no. Oh, you know something? Maybe later I'll do that, but I kind of like the. Maybe not even touch that. But we're working right in here. Now remember, you want to go flat across because, I like that already. So I dipped my paint and I blopped it. And all I want to do now is just come in here and don't just make lines like it's a flag. You want to break it around. See how I'm just kind of like going back and forth, and as I'm going back and forth, I'm raising it and I'm doing like the branches like these, okay? I'm staggering it like that so it looks like, see now this is almost has like a purple look to it, even though it's the light blue against the green gives it a purpley look. So that's pretty cool too. Now balance that looks pretty good, but it's always good to have a darker area in the painting. So we're gonna work on this a little bit. We'll push that back, but let's balance this a bit. Let's take a little bit more. Make sure you blop it. Come right in here. And look at this. See, and I'm just stabbing at it very light, very easy. Just that little bit. So you want color here and there and there. I wouldn't start putting stuff all the way back there because then it could get heavy looking, and then it's going to look like these are big bushes. You're not going to be happy with it. So I tend to leave that alone unless it was closer. But I wouldn't bother with it right now. I like this for now. And maybe just a little bit in here. I don't know. I'm going to go back into the blue, flop it. Maybe, yeah, maybe right in here in front of the door. But see, this is just going to make that lighter in front of the door, in front of that corner. It didn't help it at all. And I really don't want to destroy that, because if I make that lighter, it's going to look like that. So I'm going to leave it alone. Right? Decisions you got to make. And, you know, maybe I could break this up. I don't really care for that big, tall thing right there. See? And I'm just going to break it up like that. Then it looks like the sun's all shining over here. Oh, I like these flowers over here with the red. This looks nice with the red. But now I don't like this. That's okay. Look at that. And I'm sure everybody's been following along. And like I say, you know, what do you want? Maybe, like I said, just maybe right in here, because I don't want to just leave that looks unfinished. So I'm going to take a little bit of the blue that's already on there. I'll go into the red. And what is that going to give us? Purple. Wow, that was fast. Good. Good. Yes, purple. Blue and red makes purple. And what we want to do is come right up in here. So see what I did? I went into the blue. I went into the red. And what I do? Blop it. Then you want to just come up here. And I don't want to kill it all. Oh, look, it kind of gives it like a pinkish something or other. It gives it a different color, that's for sure. And that's all I'm concerned with. You know, I may even use some of that back here, because it's a nice kind of summery color. What do they call those flowers of that color? Bleeding Heart, I think, was the kind of that color. So, you know, I didn't like that yellow thing, so I just block it up with a little color. And see, you don't want to kill all the stuff underneath there. You can still see those grasses. I know what I did over here, but don't worry about that. You know something? And no, I was gonna do something else, but that's okay. Hey, I want to say I think this painting is done, other than maybe a doorknob. So see what I'm doing? I'm going to take a little bit of yellow paint on the back of the brush, okay? Not the side with the bristle, but on the back of the brush. And I know that my hinges are right here. If you saw me make that mistake yesterday, that's where that came in. Now, of course, the doorknob's not going to be way up here or even halfway. It's going to be just a little bit lower. So I'm just going to throw it right there. And hopefully that's good enough for you and me. I know it is for me. And that's it. Wash your brush. Hey, you know, I do want to talk about, and look at that. So please show me your work. I want to see your finished work. This is, you know, all week long I've never mentioned about what size canvas and what I'm using. So these are stretch canvas board. Okay, this is just cardboard with the canvas already stretched on there, and it already comes gessoed. And gesso is just, you know, the white stuff on top of it to make it so you don't see. I'm going to bring you in nice and close, but see the way it looks like that. Has all those pitted looks. That's what you want to fill in. That's what we're filling in when we do our sky. Okay, you don't want to see these little pitted looks. That's not too cool. All right. So what we do is just paint right over that. All right. So let's see. We could talk about. I hope everybody enjoyed this painting. I did. And see how we changed it up just that little bit, and it went from just the backyard flowers to involving the backyard. See, I mean, that's pretty cool. So we just walked over this way a little bit, and that's what's there. Well, then they put the door in, and the other people moved in. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like this one. Great job. All right, so that's that. And I do want to see your pictures, so your completed pieces. And what I usually do is you're supposed to. Do I have one? Yeah, look at that. I just, for a change, I got everything right here where I need it. All right, so all the masters, even us, sign it. I want to make sure that, is that journaling? Yeah, okay. Sign it in the lower left-hand corner. And what you want to do is you want to always make sure you get that rule. You want to be a thumbnail up the thumbnail, so your thumbnail in and up. Okay, so you want to be, so just think of it like where the fold in your thumb is, right there, with the, where it bends. Okay, so put it that high and that far in. This way here, if you frame it, it'll always be in the frame. Okay, because sometimes I would frame things and you just see like Pascucci up there. You don't see the P at all. So I'm just going to throw this up here. You could use your own name or you could sign Pascucci too. But I'm just going to use my name. And I'm just going to throw it in there. You get that fancy handwriting. And look at that. And I know that all of that painting, if I frame it, will be in the frame. Okay? So that's a great job. Oh, and the reason I always use a Sharpie. Like I always use a Sharpie because you try to paint your name. Try to paint your name. Nice, It's very difficult. All right, so I'm going to move the camera for a moment. Well, we have about 15 minutes if you want to put up with me for that. But I could show you a couple things that I have worked on and different things. Okay, so let's see. We talked about, I'm going to put that aside. That's my first television painting with you guys. So I'm very happy with that. That definitely goes on the wall somewhere. And if I had a printer, I'd probably do it. I'd probably have your pictures all up there. All right, so bear with me for a moment. I'm not going nowhere. I just want to take you off of here. So just be careful. Don't get too jiggly. Don't get sick with all the jiggling. All right, so I want to just show you this painting here. All right, let's see. All right, here we are. Ooh, let's back up. Let's back up. Ooh. Now see, we talked about this painting yesterday. Right? Remember we talked about this painting? Talked about this painting and how the tree comes in off the side like this. Look at this one here. Comes way in off the side. Okay, this one almost halfway up the tree. Okay, let me just back up so you can see it. See, so this is halfway up the tree, halfway up the canvas that I put this tree. So this tree comes in completely on the side. See how cool that is? And then see how they get smaller and smaller and smaller as they go up like that, right? And what it is, we talked about the vanishing point way up here. So if this was to go on way up here, these trees just go higher and higher and higher. So that's that. And I think I started with some blacks and, whatever. But what I like about this painting is just that look in the sky. No sky to really talk about, but you can see there's some blue, there's a little bit of reddish, a little yellow, some greenish over here. And it just, I don't know, I just like this one a lot. Okay, so that's that. Let me put this down for a second, and I'll show you another. And let's see what the next one is. Bear with me for a moment. Don't mind the studio, you only see in the clean part. Okay, let's see. Oh, look at this one. Now see, this one's like a whole different style too, right? And these are big. Let me actually, I want to show you just how big these paintings are. So if I stand back here, if I put the camera back here, this is going to be nuts. Watch this. It's going to be like I could walk right down that path. See, and then you just walk. But look how big this painting is. This is, I think it's 30 inches across by 40 tall. Back in 2018. So, but look, a whole different style, right, than what we're used to. This one here, I just smushed all the colors in, smushed it all around. The whole back of the painting is basically just smushed colors, right? And then where I wanted to show you where the path is, then I started seeing 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, then you get 12 o'clock, and you get some 8 o'clocks and 7 and 1 o'clocks. But what I wanted to show was the brightness of the sun coming in, and then fading off into the foreground. The importance of what I want to show you. Oh yeah, okay. I wanted to show you one of my granddaughter's paintings that I did using a reference photo. So I know people talk about reference photos, and this is really cool. And this one's only, I think, 24 by 30 or so. But I just want to show you what I did with this photograph. And we'll get up on it and take a closer look. But you can see, you can see what we did here. Oh, hold on, stay with me. Okay, see what I did here? This is the photo. Oh, where you going? Oh. Okay, that's the photograph of our granddaughter Ella. And this is what I did back in, geez, I don't even know, 16? No way. No, this is a lot older than this, about 10 years old. But see how and then I changed those yellow, whatever those are, to daisies. See? But this is oil paint, and this is a whole different look, right? See, I get the rays coming in off the side. I tried to do a hair. No, like I said, this is about 9-10 years ago, so my portraits and my style kind of changed a little bit. I'm noticing on that. Let me see. See, and then I just used a little bit of that same kind of light blue up in here and give it like little misty areas, little foggy areas. But I guess what we'll do an ocean, and no, I'm sorry. We'll do a waterfall. We'll start that tomorrow. All right. So I hope everybody had a great time, and please show me all your work. And thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.